Got it. All right. We've also got Nilesh Jain joining us this morning. Nilesh Jain, Head and AVP Technical and Derivatives Research at Centrum Broking. Nilesh, morning. What are the technical aspects that come into play today? We saw quite a sharp recovery towards the end of yesterday's session. A lot of frontline names making a very strong comeback, and in the financial space as well. So what do you take at the start of trade today, and how much of a bounce do you expect?
Very good morning, Alex. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday, in fact, we have seen a good rebound from the lower levels. Good part of yesterday's move was that Nifty defended its 21 DMA, as well as on derivative front, we have seen a fresh put writing at 23,300 strike. So that is likely to provide support. Now, today we are likely to open on a gap up note, and that will attract a short covering move because yesterday we have seen a fresh call writing at 23,400, 23,500 strike. So a gap up opening about 23,400. Will definitely attract a short covering move towards 23,500 to 23,550. So today we are likely to witness a follow-up move in the financial space. So we are liking NBFC space, private sector bank. Banking is likely to do well given the kind of setup that we have seen yesterday as well. We have seen a close above 49,000 in the bank nifty. So we are expecting a move towards 49,600 to 50,000. So bank nifty looks attractive. Nifty is looking strong. Broader markets may witness some consolidation, but looking at the overall volatility index, which is trading at the lowest level of 14, so I think the setup looks positive, and we are likely to witness a short covering move today.
What stocks are you looking at today, Nilesh? What's on your radar? What are your top picks?
Right. So as mentioned, NBFC space as a whole is looking strong given the kind of a breakout that we have seen yesterday in Bajaj Finance, which is trading at all-time high. We may see a follow-up move in the stocks like Chola Fin and M&M Fin. So both the stocks are looking strong. So specifically Chola Finance, where our upside target stands at 1360 to 1400. And with a stop loss below 1290, Cholamandalam Finance can be bought at current level. Apart from that, within chemical space, SRF is something which is showing strong strength on the chart. So we can expect a follow-up move towards 2960 to 30,000, and stop loss can be placed below 2885.
Okay. All right. Sunny, from the earnings that came through overnight, which one stood out to you? Because there were few shockers. There were a couple that looked really, really strong. On my list, I had Tata Chemicals, which was a disappointment, and Power Grid as well. But Castrol looked good. And there's also the Premier Energies to look at very closely. What stood out to you? I think
I like the numbers of Castrol. The reason being that very strong set of number, and at the same time, post correction, the stock is trading at a very reasonable valuation. Trading close to 17 to 18 time price to earning multiple on a trailing 12-month basis. I think a healthy dividend paying company, and with the Trump's rhetoric that crude oil is something that is likely to be under pressure under his regime, I believe that Castrol is one of the natural beneficiary of that. So Castrol is a clear cut, I feel, a buy, in fact, on every deep set from a current juncture. One smaller company I would like to bring your attention to, that is Sky Gold. Sky Gold, which is a B2B jewelry player. Again, they have reported a very good set of number. Basically, they cater to guys like Malabar, Titan, and Joya Lucas, so on and so forth. So that number stood out. In addition to that, KEC International, again, a very good set of number, but again, trading at a reasonable valuation. So I would like to remain neutral on KEC. But very good set of number from KEC. NLC India, again, a good set of number on year basis, although Q1Q we have seen a dip.
Sunny, sorry, Sunny, I want you to come on NLC as well. But on KEC, the numbers were at least 35 crores lower than estimated.
Yeah, so basically minor miss, but again, if you look at the current challenging environment, I feel the order inflows are pretty good over the period of 9 months. Order book continue to look good, but again, Neeraj, trading at an expensive valuation, so I would like to give it a skip as far as buying is concerned.
And Sunny, just a follow-up there on NLC, because you were just mentioning it when I interjected. But I thought the numbers looked very solid. The question only is, Sunny, I mean, this is a cyclical business, right? Did you like the numbers enough to advocate a buy even if it opens gap up?
Yeah, definitely. I think very strong set of numbers. So again, two verticals over there. One is the power. So power has delivered a very good set of number. And lignite, which is a kind of slightly cyclical business, there we have seen a kind of volatility during every quarter. And coal is something again which is a small part. So I think very good set of numbers from NLC, and the kind of pipeline which they have in terms of capacity addition over the period of next 2-3 years definitely advocate a buy. Maybe once the frost settle initially, then probably one can look to buy NLC India.
Nilesh, let's get your take on some of these stocks that we're discussing this morning. We talked about PCBL at UBS note over there, KC International if you have a view. And yes, the numbers perhaps optically looking fine, but have missed estimates, some would say. Let me add a Garden Reach also there for you. Any of these that you're tracking today?
Right, so one particular stock out of all these three is looking strong, that is PCBL. Yesterday we have seen a follow-up move for the third consecutive session. Good base formation can be seen in the zone of 345 to 350. So we can expect a follow-up move towards 440, 450 kind of levels on the upside. So these are short to medium term targets on the upside with a stop loss below 365. This particular stock can be accumulated at current level and on decline. KC on the other hand, the stock has been in a downtrend. We may see a pullback, but high probability of pullbacks are getting sold into. So KC is not looking that attractive, but it has a support at 750. A break below 750 will open downside towards 700 as well. Apart from that, GRSC, which is showing more sort of a consolidation, it is constantly facing resistance at its 200-day moving average, which is placed at 1700. So I would rather wait for a breakout above that before initiating any long position. At current level, it's an avoid.
What about Bajaj Finance? We saw the move yesterday. It was absolutely terrific. But does it face some resistance at these levels, or do you think that the momentum will continue?
So yesterday we have seen a good multi-month breakout in this particular counter, and we are still bullish for upside target of 8600 to 8800 from short-term perspective. Looks strong. The counter has entered into uncharted territory. The next target comes around 8600 on immediate basis. So the better strategy would be to buy in a staggered manner, buy on decline. At current level, after a spurt of 5.5%, not advisable to chase because the risk and reward is not favorable. So if somebody is already holding the long position, can keep a trailing stop loss below 8,200 and stay put.
Okay. Watch out for Adani Ports as well. There is a brokerage note today on that, but the numbers that have come out, the Jan container volumes, a 32% uptick in the January container volumes is a strong number. Liquid and gas volumes up 18%. That looks very strong too. Has delivered the highest ever monthly cargo as well in the month of January. So in that sense, the numbers look very good. And I think, unless I'm wrong, it's a Jefferies note, but I think the note seems to suggest that in the case of Adani Ports, that the business is looking robust and the valuations have come off quite significantly, and therefore the risk reward is in favor. So keep that in mind. Now, standard disclaimers, of course, the Adani Group owns NDTV and you're watching NDTV Profit. And of course, the Adani Ports belongs to the Adani Group. So that disclaimer, having said that, Sunny, come in on this one. It's a stock that came out with a good set of numbers, raised the EBITDA guidance as well, but got punished. And since the market pullback has come off even more, is the risk reward favorable, or do you think otherwise?
Yes, definitely. I think risk reward is favorable. I think one thing which is keeping the stock price in check is basically uncertainty on a global trade environment, supply side disruption because of this Trump tariff or trade war. I think that is the reason the stock is not unable to sustain the price. But looking at numbers, I think it's definitely a screaming buy. In fact, the other peer, JSW Infra, they have also reported very good set of numbers. So I think the entire port sector is looking good, whether it is JSW Infra or Adani Port.
Is what Sunny Garwal says. Let's talk about Asian Paints, and we briefly mentioned this as well. It's going to be reporting its numbers today, and there's lots to talk about, right? What is the implication of the increased competition in the space? How is pricing leading to, what is it doing to the margins, and what is it doing to the company's earnings per se? We've got Mahima joining in to tell you what the key expectations are and the key things to watch out for. Morning, Mahima. What are you picking up?
Morning, Neeraj. So basically, in terms of the Bloomberg estimates with respect to the four numbers, revenue may fall by around 13%, EBITDA may fall by 21%, and margins will slide from 22.7 to 18.3%. So Q3 as well for Asian Paints does not look very promising. In terms of what you can expect, muted demand, low volume on account of price hikes, and these price hikes will also hurt margins. In terms of the urban slowdown, since Asian Paints dominates big cities, hence the brunt of urban slowdown is being faced by Asian Paints the most, which is what we'll be seeing in Q3 as well. In terms of key things to watch out for, are they losing any market share is something we'll have to see. How much of a price hikes have they further taken and how much they're expecting to take more. The impact of Grasim overall in terms of market share as well as the Grasim's penetration into different touch points. Update on their amalgamation that they've recently announced, that is their arm of Max Bhumi Developers and Sleek International with the company, and the commentary with respect to the management changes that have recently taken place will also be something to watch out for. In terms of brokerages, Macquarie has maintained outperform with a target price of 3750. They believe that income growth is required for uptick and this will be back by the end of calendar year 2025. Sharper than expected demand weakness drives earning cut is what they're saying, and Morgan Stanley believes that it will deliver low single digit decorative volume growth and expect low single digit decline to low single digit growth in the top line. So this is the overall expectation. So it might be a similar quarter as to how it is seen in first and second quarter, and hence the performance from Asian Paints cannot be expected to be on a softer note. It will see volume as well as margin decline.
Okay, so no fireworks from Asian Paints, net. That's what Mahima's analysis is. Nilesh, I'm just wondering if you're looking at Asian Paints seeing any kind of recovery mode on the charts?
See, there was an attempt in last 2-3 sessions, but yesterday those pullbacks were fizzled out, and overall structure is not looking that promising because the stock has been in a downtrend. Constantly, we have seen in last 4-5 months the stock has constantly underperformed, and it has corrected. It has witnessed a sharp correction. There could be possibility of a dead cat bounce. Because the stock is trading into extremely oversold territory, but the major structure, major undertone still looks weak. So better to avoid taking any contrabet for the time being. Till the time we see any strong reversal candle, a breakout above 2400 will negate this bearish formation. But as of now, it's an avoid.
Okay, Asian Paints is an avoid. We'll get Sunny's view, but after a very short break. We're setting up for the pre-open session. Let's pull up the implied open before we go into that break. Spot of green on the screen. All right, welcome back. That's our watch list on the screen for you. And one of the companies that you should track this morning is Premier Energy. Solid set of numbers. Valuations might be a question and not the hottest sector right now post-budget and the whole capex question. Sunny Agarwal with us this morning. Sunny, have you taken a look at the Premier Energy's numbers? We're waiting for the pre-open rates. Could well be the stock of the morning based on the numbers, you think?
Yes, I think very solid set of number, in fact, by both Premier as well as Waaree Energies, solar module manufacturer. I think, yes, I think, all the negative points are in the price already discounted. And I think from here on, both the stocks should do well.
Interesting thing in the Premier Energy's presentation, though, is that the cell module plant in the US, those which was touted to come up in FY28, they've put those plants on hold.
No, they're saying 96% already comes from domestic, and we continue to focus on domestic. I think that's an intelligent pivot because, though I think in the current system, the US will welcome any business coming from anywhere, including from Premier Energies in India.
Yeah, but I guess Trump's whole policies around modules, etc., cell versus energy, I don't know, something around that.
He wants to drill.
Yeah.
He doesn't care for renewable that much.
And you're right. I mean, companies should be open to making a pivot at any given point of time, no matter how large or small you are. So, welcome. But I'm just saying there was an interesting piece that came up from there.
We haven't yet marked this, and we were talking about it in the newsroom, US aid to be abolished upon review and the pharmaceutical stocks that could be impacted. This was highlighted by Varsha. We will talk about it over the course of the day, I'm sure, and you might see a reaction, of course. This is going to be reviewed. Remember, this has not been announced yet, but there were certain statements that were made by people close to Trump about US aid likely to be abolished. Loris Labs, you have Aurobindo Pharma, Cipla, Strides Pharma, that could see a potential impact if this is the case. US aid, remember, is where aid is provided for medicines that are given to people. And if that is abolished, of course, the pricing becomes a bit of an issue, or the selling of certain drugs becomes a bit of an issue. So I believe we've got Ajit Mishra joining in as well. Ajit, we've already talked about levels, and we've got probably just in the next few minutes initial levels that we will see on the screen. We're expecting a bounce back. To what extent do you think that this will go, though?